Now that we've got our HTML files saved, let's begin by creating our page layout and head information. I'm going to be coding in the article.html file. Remember our basic layout? We have our doc type, our HTML tag, the head of our document, and our body. Our body is where we're going to be adding all the contents for our pages, but let's flesh out the head information first. Don't forget our language attribute on our HTML tag. We're going to be using English again, so we'll use EN as our parameter. There's a couple of meta tags that we need to include in the head. There's the character set of the file, this strange viewport tab that we've been using, which when we start to use CSS will make a lot more sense because it normalizes all of our pixels for all the different screens out there. Our description, now remember this can't be exactly the same as the content on the page itself, we're just describing the page. We have our fav icon, which will automatically be loaded with our site, but let's add an Apple Touch icon as well. Here you can add all the different icons for all the different devices. There's also the title for the page, which is what shows up in the browser when we view the tab. When we come to do our CSS, we'll actually be adding some more information into this head area, but I'll leave that for the CSS lab. One more thing that I'm going to add whilst we're here before we start adding the content inside these body tags is a div directly inside the body element itself. This holds no value at all, other than when we come to write our CSS, it's going to become very handy. A really good tip here is just after the end of the div, I'm going to write the class that I've given the div in a comment, because what we're going to do is we're going to write all the content within this div class container. So the ending of this element and the beginning are going to become very, very far apart. And if we start looking at the bottom of this HTML page with the container right at the top, we might forget what this ending div is for. Now I have this comment here, I will always remember that the ending tag for this div is for the class container, which is right at the top. And that's it, we've got our page set up. Now let's move on to the header.